I think we're gonna face a hard opponent, especially at Levi's. We've been struggling the last 2 years, so it's a very important game for us also to show that we can win there. They are fighting for playoffs. We are fighting for playoffs too. So yeah, like I said, it's gonna be an intense game. Both teams want to win it for sure, and I think it's gonna be an entertaining one.
Of course, you never want to see a teammate go down, and now losing Igor in the midfield. How much has that changed for you guys? What you have been doing all year, and how are you guys switching things up in the midfield?
Yeah, of course it's tough for us to replace him. Almost impossible, I would say, but yeah, we just have to find our way to work around it now. Now that we are missing him, we have to adapt. Maybe, or like us other midfielders, we have to take the role, take the responsibility for that, especially defensively or in general. Igor has been a player who was very helpful for us connecting defense to offense. So we just need to take care of that too. But yeah, I'm just hoping he'll be back as soon as possible.
And last one, in 2 weeks, there's going to be the special farewell game for Carlos Vela. What's your favorite memory that you have sharing the field with Carlos, or even here during practice?
Ooh, there was a time when I did rehab with him. That was a fun time. We spent a lot of time together here, working together. So that was fun. Just in general, I think Carlos was just such a funny guy, just such a nice guy as well. And yeah, we miss him. We miss having him around here a lot. But yeah, it's gonna be a very fun and special night for all of us.
Anything else in person?
Recently, quite a few guys have come in from Europe, so for them it would be the start of their season. How have you seen it, the energy that they have compared to you guys kind of coming to the end, and how does that translate into training where you're helping you push it a little bit more? Have you felt the injection of kind of their physicality and what they can bring, being a little fresher?
Yeah, we made a couple good additions to the squad. I think all of them have been helping us already. We saw that they have quality in practice already, and yeah, they will help us on the field.
And then for you, when you're getting to a season where you're going to be defined maybe a second win or a second bit of energy, does that help you when you're out there with those guys? Does that help you raise your energy levels, your kind of output?
Yeah, I think it's just important to have players fighting for different spots on the team as well. It's helping all of us to get better. It's helping the team to get better. So competition is something we all need, and it's going to help us for sure.
Anything else before we switch over to Zoom? Okay, Jim Alexander.
Hey Jimmy, obviously the week off came at an interesting time where you guys are coming off a loss, and usually you want to get back to the next game as quick as possible after a loss. Was getting this time off this late in the year, was that a positive that you felt that you needed personally and as a team? And what did you sort of do with that week off personally? How did you use it for yourself?
Yeah, so in general, I think it's always good to have some kind of reset, recovery time. Yeah, and I think we all took advantage of that. What was the second part again? Sorry.
It was that getting back to, usually after a loss you want to get
back to
the game as quick as possible. But was that now with that break sort of in between, did that help or sort of maybe hinder that?
Yeah, the break in general, or I would say the last weeks in general, where we had longer time periods in between games, have been helping us too, because we were actually able to work hard in training and practice on a lot of things that we needed to practice on. So yeah, it helped us just feeling prepared for the last stretch of the season. And then for me personally, I used it to get some days off, spent them in Mexico and enjoyed my time there, and then came back here and did some rehab and got back on the field with the team.
All right.
¿Cómo está está el equipo después de tener un break para despejar la mente, enfocarse de nuevo en ese partido contra San José? Decía Timothy, a lo mejor un poco de revancha porque el año pasado perdieron en el Levi Stadium, pero también por lo que pasó antes de la pausa en ese partido contra San José.
Sí, la verdad que este tiempo que tuvimos, pienso que fue muy importante para nosotros, tanto físico como mentalmente. Yo creo que ahora podemos vernos un poquito más frescos en ambas partes y estamos listos para enfrentar el cierre de temporada. Se viene ahora lo mejor, vamos a ir a buscar todo lo mejor posible para nosotros en este cierre de temporada y para empezar los playoffs de la mejor manera también, y por qué no ir en busca de lo que todos queremos. Y bueno, este sábado tenemos un lindo partido en San José, la verdad que va a ser un partido lindo en una cancha y estadio bueno también, y bueno, tenemos la oportunidad y el equipo para ir a buscar un resultado positivo para nosotros ahí.
¿Cómo se sienten por un lado como que es el cierre de la temporada cuando el equipo quiere estar más fuerte, pero ha habido desafortunadamente algunas bajas por lesión, han llegado otras nuevas incorporaciones? ¿Cómo es ese proceso de rápidamente encontrar esa forma óptima?
Bueno, siempre un poco tristes cuando ocurre este tipo de situaciones, de lesiones, más cuando son lesiones por largo tiempo, pero bueno, acá estamos nosotros para apoyar. Ahora que han llegado los nuevos compañeros, estamos felices también de tenerlos porque sabemos que van a llegar a ayudarnos, y que más en este cierre de temporada que necesitamos de todos, de que cada uno pueda aportar el 100% y que podamos poner todo lo mejor para que el LAFC esté en lo mejor también.
En 2 semanas va a ser ese partido de despedida, el homenaje a Carlos. Si alguien lo conoce después de tantos años, prácticamente desde el inicio eres tú, ¿cuáles son esos mejores recuerdos? ¿Alguna anécdota que tengas y lo que él ha significado para este equipo?
Bueno, yo creo que lo que ha sido Carlitos para el equipo ha dejado una huella increíble, ¿no? Todo lo que hizo aquí en su carrera. Yo creo que es una persona muy especial, que se merece todo el cariño, todo el respeto, y de nuestra parte lo recordamos de esa manera, ¿no? Con mucho cariño, siempre deseando lo mejor para él, para su familia, y que en todo lo que haga sea y salga todo de la mejor forma.
Steve's talked about San Jose being opportunistic in transition moments and how your team's going to have to be that much smarter when you have the ball going forward, making sure that you don't make mistakes. Obviously, the second goal against San Diego, that's a transition moment. For you, in your job as a defender, is it more on the ball and understanding when to take risks, or is it about being in the right places when your team turns the ball over?
Bueno, yo creo que un poco de los dos, ¿no? Siempre tenemos que estar todos conectados, tenemos que estar en la misma página y cada uno estar en la disposición de ayudar y de apoyar a nuestros compañeros. Obviamente se cometen errores, pasan situaciones que van a estar ahí en cada partido, pero tenemos esa responsabilidad de hacer todo lo mejor posible para poder responder, para poder ayudarnos, y es de eso, ¿no? Es un juego en equipo donde tenemos que darnos la mano el uno con el otro, poder pelear juntos, y esa es la manera de obtener partidos y puntos importantes, ¿no? De estar peleando juntos, de ayudarnos, y de que juntos vamos a poder ponernos y estar en la mejor forma. Hay veces que tomar riesgo es la mejor opción, hay veces que ser más conservativo nos ayuda también, entonces es muy variable, ¿no? Puedes decir hoy que la mejor forma es una, pero cuando estás en el juego la mejor forma pudo haber sido la contraria. Entonces es de eso, el fútbol también, la vida es de decisiones y hay que tomarlas, y cada una va a tener sus consecuencias. Estamos aquí para pelear juntos, para apoyarnos, y eso es lo que nos va a ayudar a pelear el sueño y el anhelo que todos tenemos de ir por el campeonato.
I think it's a little bit of both, right? I think it depends on the situation. I think that's my job and our job as the entire team to make sure that we're all taking responsibility, that we're all, on the ball. I think, there's going to be certain situations where it's time to take a risk. There's going to be other situations where maybe you play back a little bit. But I think that's kind of like in life, right? In life, there are certain situations where you take risks, and there are other situations where you kind of evaluate. But we're going to keep working hard. We're going to give it everything that we got, and I really think it's the entire team that's come together to to defend and to play well. Go ahead, Derek.
Hi, Derek with the Korea Daily. So there have some criticism with the team's defense line. So based on your thoughts, what's the strength and the weakness of LAFC's defense line?
Bueno, yo creo que hemos pasado durante toda la temporada unos momentos importantes donde hemos conseguido encontrar esa solidez defensiva, donde hemos podido brindarle esa confianza al equipo. Y bueno, ya ha habido otros momentos donde por detalles hemos cometido algunos errores, pero es de eso, ¿no? Es de ir aprendiendo cada día, de ir mejorando, y para eso trabajamos, para nosotros como defensas, como toda la parte defensiva, tratar de darle esa seguridad, esa confianza a nuestro equipo, y la verdad que estamos trabajando en eso. Queremos estar sólidos y mantener otra vez esa continuidad defensiva, de darle toda la confianza a nuestro equipo, y lo vamos a hacer, más ahora que se viene lo más importante. Vamos a estar preparados para todo eso.
I think us as a defense, we're trying to do our best to put our best foot forward for the rest of the team. Obviously we've had some good moments during the season, some maybe not so great moments during the season, but that's our responsibility, and we keep working hard to make sure that we play to the best of our capabilities. Because again, we're trying to help the team, we're trying to prepare, we're trying to do everything that we can to help the team win.
I'm not sure it's used for that yet. I think it's more for the entertainment factor. I think I saw some of the games during the Club World Cup, and I've watched some of the games in Europe already this season with that cam. It's a great vantage point. So very much welcomed. It doesn't change our jobs at all. I didn't even notice, to be honest with you. So and during the match, we don't watch the TV feed, so it doesn't really affect us on the field. But if it enhances the fan experience when I'm at home, then I'm all for it.
When it comes to the game after the break, I mentioned needed a reset. The players were talking about it after that defeat against San Diego, and then also thinking about what happened at Levi's Stadium last year. Is it sort of like a redemption, and then because of what's at stake also in the standings?
I've already forgotten last year and last week or 2 weeks ago. We have reviewed the San Diego game. It was I felt really bad for the players. They actually played very well, implemented exactly what we wanted. I think if you play that game 10 times, you're going to win a lot of them. We're just really unlucky not to win that game. So I was really happy with the performance and proud of the effort the guys put in. Just gutted for them that they weren't rewarded for their hard work. But that's sports, and the mistake would be to stop working hard and to stop playing in that same way. And so we are going to keep going for sure, and try to win every game we play.
What did you think of Sony's performance against the U.S. and Mexico?
I did not watch the Mexico match against Korea. I saw the U.S. game. I thought he played very well. Yeah, he's welcome to continue to score goals for us too.
Steve, by the numbers, San Jose is pretty opportunistic in high turnovers. You'd think that would mean that their press is pretty good, but they're generally not like a real pressing side. You played, that game against San Diego. You play against a team that has a much more systematic approach to that. How do you see San Jose setting up their press, and how do you see your solutions for the way they do it differently?
Well, it's kind of a transition and a transition moment, and because of the players they have, Martinez, Arango, Espinoza, Judd, and both wingbacks getting involved in the offensive portion of the field, they are a plethora of experience at sniffing out moments and plays, and they put themselves into positions where they can concede chances, but because of that, they're also in really good spots when the ball turns over again. So if we are not careful in transition, after the ball turns over and we have the ball, if we are silly and a little erratic with our attacks, then we can be punished. And I think this is what San Jose does to a lot of teams. They have an unorthodox formation when it comes to transition moments. They're very central, very good technically in combination play, and always attacking the depth with one of those players up top. So if you're not careful, a transition for you turns into a transition against you. And that has to do with us knowing what their strength is and what their habits are and behaviors, and we're ready for it, we're prepared for it. It was not dissimilar against San Diego, who always is a threat in transition as they scored their second goal. And we had mostly under control for the 90 minutes, just fell asleep in one play.
Anything else in person? Derek?
Coach, you just said you've seen the Sonny's match against the United States, and how do you plan to incorporate his outstanding performance at that game into LAFC's tactical approach?
The same as the last couple of weeks. I think his performances with us have also been very good. We as a team have had good performances. We've scored goals. We haven't conceded too many chances. We just haven't won every game we've played, but I've been very pleased with our performances and Sonny's as well. And so for me, it's more of the same. No changes necessary.
And not just Sonny, Denis and Nathan have played the recent international matches as well, and their LAFC matches. So how's the team managing their conditioning already?
Yeah, we've thankfully have a lot of international players and players who represent their nations. And so we've gone through this many, many times prior to and have a good idea of what travel takes out of players. We also know players and what they can handle, what they cannot handle. And so we'll never put a player in a position to hurt himself. We always put players in positions to succeed for themselves and for the team, and ultimately for LAFC. So, it's a combination of knowing the athletes, understanding their travel schedules, and understanding what it takes to win an away game in an MLS stadium. And all of those factors go into consideration when we develop a starting 11 and match plan.
Then what would be your primary focus on the upcoming game, and how do you plan to reinforce the defense line of the team?
Yeah, there's many options. You can play with a back four, you can play with a back five. And both can mean an aggressive style of play, and I think is what we're most concerned with at LAFC is how we feel, how we look, not so much in a formation, which for me is just starting positions and prioritization of spaces. We should always be on the front foot and always aggressive and being progressive with the ball, attacking spaces with and without the ball, and that's what LAFC should look and feel like, and I'm sure that's what you'll see this weekend.
All right, we're going to switch over to Zoom. We'll start off with Josh Gross.
Hey, Steve, thanks for the time. Just a couple of house cleaning things for me on the roster. What's David Martinez's status?
He's healthy, he's fine.
Okay. And some of the new additions, are they all available for you at this point?
Andy Moran is available.
Okay, so Giles is not available yet. Have you had a chance to bring him in? Has he been training in this 2-week period?
No, he's currently in the visa process, so we normally don't see players until the visas are finished.
Understood. So what have you seen from Moran so far, and how do you expect to use him?
Yeah, he's a very mobile, bright midfielder, box-to-box midfielder, who has the ability to break up a lot of plays, but also getting on the attack, is a good finisher, good passer, can really give the upper hand in the middle of the park for you with his work rate, with his technical ability, and his experience already in his young career. And so it's a real spark plug at this stage of the season to add to the middle of the park, which is always really important for us at LAFC to control and dominate.
Yeah, is it similar to how you brought, I think Lewis O'Brien, is that his name? I forget, I'm sorry. Is similar situation, sort of midfield depth, someone you can count on to close out the season? Is that how you see him?
Yes, yeah, you got his name right. And okay. I think it's a good assessment, yeah.
All right, thank you for the time.
Yep.
All right, Jim Alexander.
Hey, Coach. Been a lot of roster changes last few weeks, Sonny aside. I mean, you had Maxime retired, then you had Igor's injury, then the incoming players too. Do you have an individual plan for each player now that's sort of coming into the roster? You mentioned Andy right now, but the other guys when they finally get in here? Is there going to be an individual plan for each one of them, and is there still enough time to incorporate them in the season with the season sort of running out of time, or is it going to be a week-to-week basis sort of thing for you?
No, every player is different. Every player has a different base they go off of. You look at the minutes played in the previous season, in the current season, where they are physically, their injury history, age, style of play. So there's a number of factors we look at. And so, yes, to answer your question, it is always individual. As far as onboarding new players and getting them in line with LAFC's way of playing, we have a process in place that seems to be very effective, where we don't need a lot of time, a couple days. And we've had good success with having players understanding our model and fitting in right away. We also get ahead of the curve and only scout players who we think potentially would fit our model, so that takes a lot of the guessing work out of it. It's a combination of the player getting here as soon as possible, having a good attitude, and making the most out of every training session we have, which in our congested schedule we don't normally have a lot of time on the field with the players. And then also, us doing our due diligence and creating a pathway for a player to join as soon as possible. And again, putting the player in a position to succeed, meaning he has the proper fitness and readiness to help us in a game at this stage in the season.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
So, Sonny, Denis, Nathan, Mathieu, those who just finished the international matches, do you plan to put them in the starting line for the upcoming game?
I'll keep that for me, the starting 11. And Nathan Ordaz will not be available for us. He has picked up an injury on the international window.
All right, we'll finish up with Rodrigo over Zoom.
Hey, Coach. Thank you for your time. Yeah, I'm going to talk about Nathan. We saw he got subbed in the 41st minute against Suriname. Is there anything serious going on? And he only played 45 minutes against Guatemala, too.
No, nothing serious. Just won't be ready for Saturday's match.